Well, just as get to know you, anybody from the faculty of CB, Computing Engineering Built Environment? One over here. Any health students? Yeah? Any ALSS or BLSS, Business Law and Social Sciences? No? Probably don't know what faculty you're in, to be honest. Any arts, design and media? Yeah, okay. Plenty of arts, design and media, that's cool. Has anybody signed up to any sports teams? Yes? What did you sign up to? Call you at the worst time. Hockey? Yeah. Ex-president of hockey sat in the front row. Ex-captain, sorry. Get my head cut off. Anybody sign up to any societies? Not yet. But you know about them? Yeah, so you may do. That's cool. This is called ad-libbing. Tell the joke. Okay. A man walked into a bar with a piece of tarmac under his arm. He said, "One for me and one for the road." Hey. You can keep that one. One more? Can't think of any. Do you know any jokes, Jenny? Do you know any jokes? You don't do jokes. You are a very serious person, actually. Very scary. Do we want to kick off? Yeah? No problem. So, thanks all everyone that turned up. It's really nice that you're sort of showing your passion already within your sort of first week of the Student Union. So this is sort of the AGM where we sort of look at the Student Union, what we do, and where the money's spent. So the Student Union is a separate organisation from the university. We exist to enhance our members and sort of benefit and improve your experience at university, and sort of that's why we're here. So the exec team. So the Student Union is led by an officer team, 5 different officers, and we all have different roles. We're called executive officers, and we take a year out of our studies to do this job. So we're in full-time employment, we get full-time pay, and we sort of take a year out. Like I said, we're all former BCU students, but we do this as a sort of for 12 months. So I'll take you through the team. I'll get Lauren to stand up. That's Lauren Hoyle. She is the Vice President Student Development. She looks after the sports teams, societies, volunteering, and employability opportunities. Thanks so much, Lauren. And then we have Jenny Watkins, who is our chair today. Jenny looks after this democracy and the education issues. She's the Vice President Voice. And then there's big 16-stone myself. And my role is the Student Union President. So I oversee the strategic direction of the Student Union. I'm sort of the main point of contact between the university and the Student Union. So I help bridge the gap between the Vice Chancellor and the students. And then we have Leanne Westcott. Stand up, Leanne. Yeah, we got it. Leanne is the Vice President of Engagement, which looks at sort of our smaller campuses. We're quite a unique university. We've got 7 campuses across Birmingham. So she looks at how we're sort of engaging and enhancing the experience of every single of the 22,000 students. And then last but certainly not least, Katie, who's the Vice President in Experience. So Katie oversees the services and welfare, so things like transport, catering, food, accessibility, and sort of how equal we are as a university. So we're also, that's the full-time officers. We also have part-time officers. Part-time officers are current students who currently study, but they're also called liberation officers. So what they do is help us inform decisions. So if I'm set on a university committee, and they say to me, "Niall, the mature students, which are students that start university past the age of 25, are underperforming in a certain school," I wouldn't really be expected to sort of answer what the issues are because I don't have the same experience as they do at university. So these 5 full-time officers go to the part-time officers and say, "Why is this an issue? Can you tell me about sort of your experiences and your other students' experience?" So that whenever we go and we sort of sit in university committees, we're actually truly representative and we actually know what we're saying. So different part-time officers. We've got Naomi, who's over in the corner there. She is the LGBT+, which is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender officer. We've got Peter in the back. Give us a wave, Peter. He's the international students officer. He looks at sort of how we engage international students and how sort of equal we are as a university in the Student Union. We also have Paige, who's downstairs in the working in the eco van, is the environmental officer. We also have Ade. Ade is a health student and is our ethnic minorities officer. We also have, I've gone through Naomi. We've got Peter. Shireen, who is the women's officer. We also have Katie Thurlow, who is the mature and postgraduate student officer. And I am really apologetic if I miss anyone else. Who else are we missing? Is that the liberation officers? No problem. Harriet Johnson, who's the disabled students officer. So a little bit about us. We are a democratic organization. So we are led by the 5 elected officers and also our elected part-time officers. Like I said before, we're independent from the university. We do mainly exist through a block grant from the university, but we are still independent and we sort of work only by ourselves and sort of make sure we enhance the experience of students. We're not for profit, so we're a registered charity. So a lot of private organizations, when they get profit and they get money, it goes straight to the sort of CEO. We actually work in a way that when we generate income, when we generate profit, it goes back into the students and reinvest it back into the students. So legally, we aren't actually allowed to have a sort of certain amount of cash reserves because we have to reinvest it. So we're a registered charity. And we're run by you. We're run by the students through things like student council, through AGM. We're run by you, so we really need your input to make sure that we're representative. So creating change. I'll just go through what we are at the moment. So the AGM is where you can sort of have your say, and also where we pass budgets, and we pass the budget for the whole year. So it's a bit like student council in the sense that you vote, but you don't vote on ideas and motions like you do in normal council. So it only happens once a year, so it's really special that you're here, although we might have to look at that as well. So creating change. So you can bring an idea and a motion to the student council, and when you have an idea, it could be things like last year we banned the sun from selling in a student union shop because we voted against its objectification of women and also its stories in criminalized mental health. We also, a motion was brought in to improve catering on university, which led to a lower price, a lower charge for using your card. Which brought in a meal deal, which brought in sort of better catering staff and sort of helped that dialogue. So because that was voted through, the student union officers were mandated to do it. So we'll go through a little exercise. When we student council, when you vote, there's I'll explain the voting system. So when you agree with something, so if I say, when you agree with something, you say you vote for. So Jenny will say any votes for. You put up your hand, and we count it, and then that is how many votes that have gone for. Vote against. So if you disagree with what's been put forward, Jenny will say any votes against. And you put up your hand, and if you don't really care or don't have an opinion, we will say any abstainees. And then you put your hand, and that means that you're not really for, you're not really against, and you don't really want to vote. So that's just kind of how it's going to work. So that's how it works on things like student council, and also voting works in the elections. It makes sure that we're like a democratic organization. So has anyone voted before in anything? You have voted at least once in your life? Yeah? That's good. So you've got the experience of raising your arm and down again. That's the sort of fundamental way to do it. But we're going to go through a little sort of exercise to explain how emotion and an idea is going to work. Yeah. So we are going to bring an idea to this year's AGM, and I'm going to say that I think everyone should have chocolate today. And if it gets voted through, that means we are mandated to give you chocolate. So I will start off. Well, I'll let the chair start off, sorry.
I feel like this, it does work. Excellent. Okay, any votes for? As expected. Any votes against? See, that'd be me because I'm lactose intolerant, so there we go. And any abstainees? Nice.
So, by elections and democratic processes, we officially get chocolate. Woo! So that is how a motion or an idea is passed. So in normal student council, You can debate it. You can say why you agree, why you disagree, and why you want it to happen. So that's how it all works. See, now everyone gets chocolate. Aren't the student union great? Aren't we great? We give you free chocolate, free entry to tonight. I just love my job, my organization. So, so for more information about where the money goes, we're going to play a quick video just to explain.
You got a sneak peek.
Just give it a wee watch.
BCU
Sorry.
is a charity run by its members. You decide who leads us, what our priorities are, and where we make change. Every year, you vote to elect your executive team. The exec team are made up of 5 students who take a year out of their course or have just finished their final year. They lead the vision for the Students' Union, lead campaigns to improve your student experience, and represent you at important university meetings so the student voice is embedded in everything BCU does. Here at BCUSU, we have around 40 staff who support the officers and students in their work. The staff team are led by our Chief Executive, Richard, who provides strategic leadership to the Students' Union. So, what does your Students' Union do? We facilitate getting your voice heard by training you as representatives so that you can create change on your course and on your campus. We listen to your issues and create campaigns to make change at BCU or in your local communities. We ask you to stand in elections so that you can become a full-time or part-time officer and help those students around you. We ask you to vote in elections so that you can decide who is best to lead your Students' Union. We create the sports teams and societies that you want to get involved in. We help you to find volunteering opportunities to boost your employability. We give you the chance to give it a go so that you can try new activities and meet new people. We facilitate media groups so that you can have a chance to get behind the camera or on the radio. We are here to give you advice on housing, academic issues, money issues, health and well-being, immigration and working in the UK. We hold events, run 2 bars, serve food in our cafes, run shops and have our very own letting agents so that you can trust who you rent from. We run an eco project that consists of grow projects, upcycling and beekeeping to name a few. How do we provide all of these services? We receive a majority of our funding from the university from what's called a block grant. The rest of our funding comes from bids that we make and win from other organisations and our commercial services, such as our shops. This money gets spent on you. Last year we spent £198,823 on Student Voice. This includes the cost of 4 members of staff, the cost of hiring Student Voice assistants to gather your voice, running elections, providing representation for you at course and school level, and the cost of the executive team. We spent £116,200 on providing support for sports, societies, media groups and volunteering opportunities to help you get the best experience at university. We spent £105,125 providing you with a great advice team to help you with issues that may arise, as well as welfare campaigns. Our membership services department were able to bring in £90,440 of income. This means that we are able to spend more on providing services for you to take advantage of. Our eco project cost around £140,000 last year. We were able to recruit a student staff team to push those projects and create some great initiatives. Behind the departments that you may see a lot during your time here at BCU, we have even more going on. Central services are in charge of finance and human resources. We have a marketing team to make sure that what we do is reaching you, and we have reception spaces at City North, City South and Millennium Point, so we can stretch our services even further. Now that we've told you a little bit about what we actually do, you might be wondering how to get involved. Throughout the year, we have plenty to get you involved in. From right now with Rowden League, signing up to sports and societies, to Student Council in a month's time, we have a jam-packed year and we hope you take full advantage of us. So, how do you get more information? Come and chat to one of the officers. You can email us, find us on Facebook or tweet us.
So, hopefully that was an easy sort of video to understand about where the money goes and sort of where we spend our money to make sure that we're sort of enhancing your experience. So part of the AGM is to approve the budget for the Student Union over the next year. So I'm just going to go through a couple of slides about how we plan to spend our money this year. So management and central services. This is where we do a lot of our operational stuff. So it's about insurance, about rent for the building, about sort of different bills. And the total expenditure was 474,000, around about that. And the total income was 1,380,000. And that consists of the block grant, which the university gives us to sort of help us exist and fund. Engagement. So engagement is all the different stuff below. So like we said in the video, the advice service, student voice department for the elections, development opportunities, which is the sports and societies, and the media groups. So there's 118,000 planned for voice, 249,000 for, 118 for advice, 249 for student voice. Development opportunities was 143,000, and the media groups is 25,000. And in other parts of engagement is things like welcome desks, plan to spend 52,000 on the welcome desks. Engagement Central, which is salaries and also different partnership working funds and different separate projects, is 48,000. And the marketing department, which is where sort of, like I said in the video, all the marketing salaries from the people in that staff, and also that's where we promote the student union, was 145,000. So the total for engagement was 783,000. Member services, so this is where we do a lot of our commercial departments. We run the bars and shops and things. Commercial general, which is where the costs of running the different outlets, as mentioned below. So it's a loss of 19,000, but the reason there's a loss there is so that we run the union bars, which is came as 21,000. The food outlets lost 9,900. Entertainment brought in 39,000, and the shops brought in 38,000. Enterprises Limited, that's a separate organisation from the Student Union, but a sister organisation where we run our BCUSU student homes, which is the Letten entity, and that brought in £31,000. So the surplus was a deficit of 9,757, but our turnover as an organisation is 2.5 million. So in the grand scheme of things, we would consider £9,000 a loss, a break-even budget. Because when you look at sort of the amount of money spent, that's pretty sort of fair and equal. So, for the student union to work in that budget, it needs to be decided and approved by the students. So I'll pass it over to Jenny if we are happy to spend that money this year.
Okay, guys, so very similar to the chocolate scenario again. Any votes for? Please keep your hands up for me. Any votes against? Any abstentions?
So thanks for voting. That has decided where we spend the money this year. So you, the students, have decided where to spend the money this year. So it's really important that we had sort of have that vote. Thanks very much for coming along. Really, really excited the fact that you've come and learnt about the democracy of the Student Union. And we will have the first Student Council next month. It's in the wall planners. So if you've got an idea, something you want to change, or something you want to do in the Student Union of the university, you want to bring it as a motion or an idea, come and email voice@bcusu.ac.uk and we'll help you formalise it into something real. We know that's a lot of information. We know that what you just passed is sort of a lot of information. But is there any questions? Yes? Yeah. Why is this? Why is it 25,000? Do you consider that an underspend? No. Oh, so the reason that 25,000 is included, that's a salary, and also is that part of the media group's budget? Yeah. So that's full-time members of staff salary, and also the things like the official registration as an official media group, as a Stevie, and also the equipment, things like that. I don't know if you want to add anything, Richard, who's the chief exec.
I mean, if you believe it needs to be more. That's something definitely to take to student council and say it needs to be more. I think just to put it into scale, we've got 3 media groups, if you like, so Scratch Radio, Scratch TV, and there's over 80, 90 other student groups. So actually, proportionately, for the amount of students involved in the media compared to the other sports and societies, they're getting a larger spend per head, if you like. But that just shows the commitment to the media groups. So that's probably the best way I can describe it.
That's a really good question. So that's what we want. We want people to question and sort of say, why is that being done? Is there any other questions, sorry, just about that? Yes, Peter? So the student council will be in the...
We haven't got an official place where we're going to hold it. Hopefully it'll be on this campus so it's more accessible. Maybe we should ask you guys, where is the most accessible place for you to come and sit and ask us questions? So this campus, people are nodding?
Yeah.
Yeah? So
City
you
centre?
think if it should happen in the city centre? Yeah? Okay. We'll do it in the city centre then.
You just
Come on,
decided
vote,
that, huh?
vote.
What? It's crazy. Democracy, man. I know. It's such a
the date's
sexy
on-
subject.
The date's on the wall planners and it will be...
So the date is in the wall planners. So whenever you go to the desk in the Millennium Point, you'll see the different loads of information. Pick up a wall planner, and that'll have the different sort of big events the student union has got, the student council elections. So yeah, student council. The next student council, we won't be actually talking about student council. We'll be talking about motions and ideas and reading the reports from the officers, so you can read what we've done in our jobs, and you can scrutinise us and tell us that we're doing a crap job and that my fees aren't going, into the block grant, and you're not doing a good enough job. So really do that, really hold us to account, because it keeps pushing us and keeps on making sure that we represent students and making a change. Any other questions? Is everyone happy enough? Well, like I said, yeah, thanks for coming. You do get a free wristband for the event tonight in Lounge North, the first Team BCU Wednesday launch. So if you want a wristband, just come up and we'll give you one. And also, there's some chocolates left over. So thanks very much. We hope you enjoy the rest of the fair. If you haven't seen all the sports and societies and stuff, then please do go do it. Just as a sort of question before, if you haven't signed the sort of sign-in stuff, please do come down and sign it, because we need to sort of write down who's been here to make sure that was a sort of democratic decision made. So if everyone, before you go, come down and sign the sheet, and then you can go and enjoy the rest of the fair.